Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're yet to subscribe, please make today the day you hit that subscribe button, and let's get to making this kaftan / kimono style. Today's video was requested by Peter Nambia. For this project, we're going to be working with this basic half scale blocks. So we'll start with the back pattern. We're going to be tracing the back first. I'm just going to start by tracing the top back. We're going to trace everything except the armhole. We don't need the dart, so I'm just going to use pencil to trace that out, to trace the dart out. Once you have the top back traced, the next thing to do is trace the bottom. So as you can see, we left the armhole out. I'm just going to align the bottom of the back now and then continue tracing. I'm going to label here point A, and we're going to draw a line cutting across here. So at the tip of the shoulder, I'm just going to draw a straight line upwards. Okay, I'm just going to darken that for you so you can see properly. And we're going to call this point X. So now that our back is all done, the next thing we're going to do is trace the front. For the front, we typically work with these bodies that has the shoulder and waist dart. I have gone ahead to transfer this dart to this armhole. So we've moved this here, and then we still have the waist dart. So this is one we're going to be working with. So normally they face opposite sides, but today we're going to make them face the same side. Now we're going to ensure that the waists match. And when we are sure that they match, you also need to ensure that the tip of the neckline is touching this guideline. So once it touches here and it touches at the waist, you're okay to trace it out. So I'm just going to be tracing this out with a blue marker. So that's the top front traced out. We've left out the armhole as well and the side dart. We're now going to complete it with the front. So as you can see, the front and back, they don't really align, but that's fine as long as they align at the shoulder. So the next thing to do is to drop the shoulder. So at the tip of the front shoulder, we're going to drop it down by 1/4 of an inch. And I've just marked my 1/4 of an inch right here. I'm now going to use my curve ruler to connect from this point down there. I'm now going to use the green marker just so you can know what line we're working with. So that's our new neckline. Now we have our new neckline. We have our center back line. We also have our center front line, the blue one. We now need to extend the shoulder of the kimono. Now if I'm making this in my size, I'm going to use 17 inches approximately, or maybe even more depending on how long I want it. But for this half scale block, I'm going to divide that measurement into two. So 17 gives me about 8.5. So to measure the sleeve length, place your ruler starting from the tip of the neckline where you have that line X. So that's where you measure the 17-inch from, and then you go to the edge of the shoulder to draw the line. So this is our new shoulder line, so the green line. The next step is to measure downwards the circumference of your arm. For mine, I chose, so if I was making this in my size, I would use 11.5 inches. But because this is a small scale block, I'm going to use 5.5, which I'm marking now. And then you connect a straight line to that 5.5 inches point right there. Along that line, measuring inwards towards your dress block, you can take, so for a full size, you can take about 2 cm. But for a half scale block, I'm going to use 1 cm for this one. So we're doing this to get a slant line. The sleeve is not a straight line, so we need to make it slant. So that's what I'm doing here. Now that I have the slant line in place, that's our new sleeve. So I'm just going to darken that now with the green marker. For the next step, as we know this is a kimono, a kaftan, it's always a loose fitting garment. So we're going to increase the width at the hem. So you can increase a full size kaftan or kimono by 2 to 5 inches. For this one, I'm going to use 1.5 inch. So I'm just extending the 1.5 marker now. I'm also going to darken it using the green marker for you to see. We're also going to extend that hemline upwards, but I'll just show you how to draw some guidelines to help. At the tip of the sleeve, draw a slant line towards the body because we're going to be curving that armhole back to meet the body of the garment. We're supposed to, at this point, you'll need to extend the hemline upwards, but it might be difficult for you to connect it once you do that. So I'm just drawing these guidelines back to touch the original body's block. We're not going to be working with that line because you know we are going to extend the dress. The garment needs to be free and loose fitting. This is just a guideline. So once you have this curve and you're happy, once you've drawn it and you're happy with it, you then extend the hem upwards and then redraw your curve. So this is me extending the hem upwards to meet that curve now. So once it touches the curve you made, you can now draw your final curve. So this final one is the one we'll be working with. You'll find that it's easier if you do it this way. So this is now a curve. I'm now going to draw this one. I'm also going to now draw this one in green. So you can go ahead now to rub this one out because we don't need this line. Our pattern is majorly done. All you need to do now is trace out the back, so use following the green and red lines. So I've gone ahead to trace the back and this is what it looks like now. So it's all done. For the front, we'll just use this original draft. So we'll cut out the blue and green lines. You'll notice that the front has a V neckline and something like a strip. So we're going to work on that now. Now for a full body, if I'm making this in my size, I'll take 1.5 inch, but because it's a half scale block of my measurement, I'm going to divide that into 2. So then take that measurement all the way down. And then connect all the points. Okay, so you have that 1.5 inch mark now if you're making it for a full body. Then we're also going to take the v-neck. As you can see, the design has a v-neck line, so we're going to place it here. We're not taking anything, we're just going to place it right at this line at the shoulder tip and take it all the way to the waistline, like so. Okay, so that's the new front. This is our new front. I'm now going to cut this out. Okay, so now that we've cut it out, this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to turn it. So we now have a v neckline. So to sew this, we're going to cut a straight strip and attach it back here. So that's what you see on the beaded part of the garment. So that's the front pattern and the back pattern. I'm interested in making one for myself, so I'll definitely make a sewing video for this. Until the next time, please subscribe and thank you for watching.